If you don't know me already, my name is Dana, and this is my story of dealing with eczema. Some people may be asking, Dana, why are you sharing us a story right now? Well, first of all, October is National Eczema Awareness Month, and I wanted to take a stand and represent the many men and women and children who have to struggle with eczema every day. Second thing is, I'd always been scared to tell my story. Until now, I never told anyone how encapsulated I felt with eczema. Because I always thought people would look at me differently. But I like to say thank you, and that I'm truly blessed with the friends and family that I have that have given me so much positivity and unconditional love, and most of all, courage. I'll start off by showing you some examples of eczema that I had. So if you're eating, please put your food away. Eczema is a medical condition in which patches of skin become rough and inflamed with blisters that cause itching and bleeding. According to the NEA, which is the National Eczema Association, there is no known cause for eczema, but genes and certain triggers play a factor. There's also no exact cure for it either because everyone's skin is different and there's a lot of trial and error to figure out what is effective. For me, it took about 16 years. Okay, so like you saw in the pictures, they were really ugly. I don't like looking at those pictures, and it was super hard for my mom to even give me the pictures just because she doesn't want me to kind of look back at it. But at least I'm looking back at it with you guys. Okay, so I got my tissues. Okay, well, I'm gonna start off, I guess with elementary school. So elementary school was a really hard transition for me just because, being so sheltered with your parents and everything, and then finally moving to a school where you have to meet, other kids and seeing how other people are like. So for me, it was hard. I pretty much didn't have any friends, just because, I was very self-conscious. A big part of it was that my mom made me wear gloves, like these little white mittens, that I wore every day, just, to cover my hands from touching anything I was allergic to, or I think it was because she didn't want the teachers or like the other students to see what my hands looked like. So of course, I noticed no other kid was wearing gloves, so I felt very just different. So before I started seeing a specialist doctor, my mom and dad would do a lot of different things to try and lower the symptoms of eczema. So my mom would take me to a lot of herbal doctors who would give me stuff to eat, or just put on certain ointments that might help reduce, I guess, the rashes and all that stuff. It helped for a little bit. No, it didn't. I remember every night my dad would basically take medical gauze, would wrap it around my entire leg, and smother it with petroleum jelly and Neosporin just so I wouldn't have the urge to scratch it. But of course, being a kid, I just couldn't help myself and I was scratching it. I remember waking up every morning and it was just blood everywhere. After doing all these treatments, through the herbal doctors and my dad wrapping the bandages and stuff, I would get, I don't know, just weird yellow streaks all over my skin. And I remember going to elementary school and class and stuff, and kids teasing me. So that later carried on into middle school. So if anyone remembers me from middle school, I was very quiet and very self-conscious just because, you're moving to a school with bigger kids now and they can say even meaner things. I still had the gloves on that time, and of course people would make fun of my gloves. I remember I didn't want anyone seeing what my skin looked like, so I would always wear jackets or really long sleeve clothes and pants and basically anything to cover up, because even if it was a hot day, I would just be no one can look at this. I wanted to fit in a lot. 8th grade, I decided to take off my gloves entirely. My mom was actually very against it. She was what the heck, you gotta have emergency ones just in case. And I was no, I really don't want to wear them. So I guess the best thing that I did, because 8th grade was a lot better than 6th and 7th grade, just because I was able to, not feel as different. And then going on to high school. So, high school was a very, I guess, stressful part of my life. I had some stuff going on with family and everything, and all this other stuff, transitioning, blah, 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 all that stuff. And I didn't really get to focus on my health and, my skin. So I remember my eczema got really bad to the point where it hurt to walk. I remember there were gashes in my stomach, and it would just sting. It would just hurt a lot. And I never told my mom this, but I just could not sleep at all. Every night I would have to wrap like an entire like shower towel around my stomach and just, you know, tie it and make it really tight so then I wouldn't feel the urge to scratch it. But of course, like, there were always those urges, and I remember waking up to like a towel just like with little blood splotches everywhere, and just I would wake up with just a couple hours of sleep because I would not be able to sleep, and not even telling like my closest friends how I felt and the pain I felt. I remember, like, you know, I could run my miles and stuff. I just had to like tuck in my shirt and like wrap stuff around my stomach and like wear a heavy jacket, just so I wouldn't feel like the pain when I would run. You know, and I still ran pretty fast. So I remember it got really bad at one point. I remember there was like one night I was just like crying in my bedroom. I remember like just, you know, so I'm not religious, but I remember like going down and just praying, and I was like, God, like, why me, you know? I was like, I remember just like praying to have better skin, not only for me, but also for my mom as well, just because during this time she did a lot for me, and no matter like which doctor I would see, it just felt like nothing would work. So I always felt really guilty for her that. Sorry. I just felt always really guilty for that. So then, like, that night, I was just like, please, just make me have like better skin, just even a little bit, just so like my mom wouldn't see it, like how upset I was. And so, after all my hopes and prayers, I don't know, it seemed like they worked, and I met up with a specialist in Orange County, I think Irvine, I can give you the details later, but she was so sweet and completely transformed my skin. And now I think it's like the 5th year that like I haven't really dealt with that extreme eczema. Like, my skin transformed and everything. I definitely became more confident, for sure. I was able to find my voice, and yeah, so here I am now. The point of this whole video was to, I guess, kind of share with you something that I was always really scared to talk about. So I just want to say thank you for watching this entire video. It really means a lot. You know, it took like 5 years for me to feel confident enough to tell you my story, and I'm super glad that I did. But I know that there are a lot of other people in this world that don't have, you know, the opportunity or the voice to do that, so I want to be able to help them. So if you look through, I don't know, the bottom or like somewhere on my page, that there will be a link to a fundraising page, National Eczema Association. Anything counts. You can do it anonymously or not, and however much that you want, but just anything counts. My goal is to get $200 by the end of October. You know, more would be great. You know, more would be like lovely. I'm gonna end it with everyone has a story. Everyone has a past. For me, my story is written on my skin. I don't like talking about my past, but like the scars on my skin, they may fade, but they will never disappear. I to care less about my imperfections, but these are the battle scars of my past and have made me the person I am today. So thank you so much again, and yeah, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Okay, alright, bye.